One, why would you do that to yourself? You see a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid pull up outside and you think he's got a 300 grand car.
Child support for $30,000 that's in collections.
And girl math, my M3 is basically free.
Alright, it's all about cars again today. I think I'll start mixing things up again in the next video with credit card debt, payday loans, and other financial disasters. Before we get into it, a lot of people have been asking about the new channel. That got delayed again because I suddenly had to find a new place to live. Luckily, I found one for August 1st. I'm getting out of the city and into a small town. It's going to be the first time in about 8 years I've lived on my own, so I'm looking forward to that. Once I'm all settled, I can get started on the channel. Now I'm going to take the advice from one of my more thoughtful commenters and shut up and play the clips.
I deal with people, and one guy in particular, he had a Lamborghini Urus, and I just took myself out of the situation for a second and looked at it as if I was a stranger, a neutral, who was sitting in a restaurant and seen this young kid pull up in a new Lamborghini Urus and get out, and he's 20 years old. And you'd think to yourself, wow, I mean, how's that guy got that car?
When I see young people driving expensive cars, I don't wonder how they got them. I wonder if they're going to regret buying them later. That's probably because I regret buying so many of the things I did when I was younger. I spent a lot of money on things I didn't need, and I could have set myself up so much better by saving and investing. But that's really a difficult thing to think about when you're that young.
When in reality, he owns 5% of the car. And this one particular guy, he had a flat tire. And the tires on a Urus are quite expensive. They're about £1,000 plus VAT tire. And that week he didn't have the money to replace the tire on the Urus. It would affect his life. He couldn't pay his gym membership or something if he had to replace the tire.
I'm not even sure why you would want to own 5% of a Urus. Maybe it's a business arrangement, who knows? But I bet that percentage doesn't come up too much when they talk about owning it. You don't tell people you own 5% of a Lamborghini. You tell them you have one. When I was in debt and spending without thinking, car repairs were one of the things I worried about the most. If something went wrong with the car, I had no way to pay for it. If I was lucky, I could put it on a credit card. But there were plenty of times my cards were maxed out and I couldn't even afford a small repair. It's not a great way to live.
And I'm thinking, number one, why would you do that to yourself? And number two, from that neutral's point of view, from that hard-working guy who's gone out to a restaurant with his girlfriend that night and is conscious of the bill, and you see a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid pull up outside and you think he's got a 300 grand car. Wow, what am I doing wrong in life? But flipping it from the other side to know what I know about the guy who's got it, I would rather be the guy in the restaurant, you know?
You can't tell anyone's financial situation by their car. I've met so many people over the years that go out and spend too much on a vehicle. They have it all, home, nice cars, all the toys. But they spend all their time working to cover it. They're doing as much overtime as they can, working second jobs. And they're stuck struggling just to make the payments. I was working with someone a few years back and he mentioned so many times about his debt and how deep he's in it. A few weeks later, he shows up in a brand new car. 1 driver in the home, 3 vehicles.
I see you're looking at a 23 Grand Cherokee. Income, I don't think will be a problem here. I think the bigger issue is going to be credit history. We have a 487, you have a repo or charge off, you have Philadelphia child support for $30,000 that's in collections, and you have a small line of credit that's open for 3 months, and then everything else is negative. Best case, I would be looking at a small car or a cosigner to add scratch.
30 grand in collections and shopping for a car. That's a repo waiting to happen. If you can't even cover the debt you have, why add even more? Especially when some of that debt is child support. I have seen so many guys get arrested for not paying it. They would get their wages garnished or cars repossessed. It's just one of those things that's not worth messing with.
I just took a look at the application for you, bro. We ran the credit. The credit's a little bit lower than where we anticipated you to be. Half of it's just because of that exit or repossession, and then you have a child support collection that's also oppressing the credit a little bit. But we don't want you to be discouraged by this. We can still get you a decent approval here on a vehicle. Now, if we're going to be able to get you a loan without any help into a Grand Cherokee is going to be very questionable just because of where the credit is. Maybe a smaller SUV, a smaller car to start.
They don't want him to worry, but he should be worried. He should be so stressed out he can't even think about buying a car. I think they said he had a 487 credit score. That's going to get him a horrible interest rate if they can even get him approved. More than likely, they're going to try to get him a cosigner. Someone else to take the risk. With $30,000 of unpaid child support, you would have to be crazy to cosign for this guy.
something for you to establish the credit and then get yourself into something like the Grand Cherokee. But if we have to do this Grand Cherokee for you, brother, we're probably just going to need a little bit of help. Could we add some strength on there?
Well, how do you do that?
I would say a co-signer, brother, someone who has a little bit of credit strength. If you're open to cars, brother, I can still try and get you approved for a car. It'll probably be maybe something like a Ford Escape, or maybe Fusion, maybe a Malibu, something like that for you to just start building credit in again.
Just let me know what you can get me approved for.
All right, brother. Let me work this for you. I'll get this done. I'll call you right back, okay?
All right, thanks.
So.
You have to love how they word it. Add some strength on there. Nothing about that application is strong, not even with a cosigner. It's not even a question of if he defaults on the loan, but when. He could get a 0% interest rate, but with that history and debt, there's no way he's making those payments. But these days, everyone gets approved. You get the car, forget the math, and worry about the payments later.
I got you at a 658. Way credit works is 900 perfect, 800 great, 750 good, below 750 we're building, below 7 we're challenged, below 6 we need Jesus, below 5 Holy Spirit can't save us, okay?
Yeah.
You're at a 658, a little challenge, need a little help, no problem. What's hitting us, and it gets greater later. I used to be a 400 credit score myself.
Okay.
So I couldn't finance a pack of bubble gum. I'm here to tell you it gets greater later. I'm now at 800. So I help teach people financial literacy, credit literacy. She used to be a 400. She's now a 750.
Okay.
And she is the best at helping people fix their credit.
Okay.
Seeing is believing, like Stevie Wonder said, so I'll show you better than I could tell you.
It's a bit surprising to me that a dealership would even get involved in credit repair. Now, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but when I looked into this years ago, I was looking for a shortcut. The whole idea is to question the negative things on your report. Then they have a certain amount of time to confirm the information. That does improve your score and help you get approved. The problem is it can go back on your report later, and you haven't done anything to fix the actual issues that cause the low score and spending problems. To me, it's just a horrible idea.
This young man right here took me 30 days to fix his credit. Now, this young lady right here took me about 90 days. But check this out. This guy had 2 repos, over $30,000 in collections. That's what I do, and I can show you all day. Yeah. What we can do, this car ain't forever. It's just for right now. You ain't got to marry it, just date it for a little bit, right? She gets that credit fixed, upgrades like Beyonce, come back, trade it in, and we'll be good to go. Okay. So I'm still working my magic with the banks. Nothing's all the way approved, but I want her to go over this with you guys, and this is your personal credit report, and it shows everything that's on there. Go ahead and take it away, and then I'm going to go work my magic with the bank.
Only 30 days to fix someone's credit. It took me years to do it the right way. The lowest my score got was around 575, and I got it up to 839. The shortcuts aren't worth it. The best way is to pay down the debt. Give it time for the negative things to fall off your report, and use that time to learn about credit and personal finance. People using credit repair are only putting themselves in a worse position because they haven't learned what it actually takes to get your finances in order.
Buying my $100,000 M3 wasn't the smartest financial decision I made, but buying a house first was. I bought my first house last year when I was 20, and not to look rich, but to invest my money in something that's eventually going to help pay for the lifestyle that I actually wanted to live. As of today, that property is being rented out, and my tenants pay rent every month, which covers the mortgage, plus the extra cash flow from that property basically pays for my whole M3 monthly payment. A lot of people see a young person driving an expensive car and immediately think that they're irresponsible with their money. The biggest lesson I learned is if you buy liabilities first, you are the one paying for them every month.
It sounds like she's doing great, a house and a nice car at that age. But just because you can make the payments doesn't make it a responsible choice. I wish I could go back to her age, knowing what I know now about money. I'd be putting every extra dollar I had into investments. The cars and nice things can always come later on in life if you still want them.
But if you buy assets first, those assets can eventually pay for those liabilities that you want later on in life. And this doesn't mean that everybody should buy or invest in real estate. It could be a business, an investment, or any other source of passive income. But the point is to use your money to make you more money. If you're young and your goal is financial freedom, I'd focus on income producing assets rather than expensive liabilities. An asset is what is going to help you buy those expensive depreciating assets that you want later in life. So I'm not stupid and just bought a depreciating asset. I bought an asset that is making me money so I can buy the depreciating asset without throwing away so much money. And girl math, my M3 is basically free.
Real estate, of course, can be a great investment, but I hope she's considering the risk of renting out her house. About 5 or 6 years ago, there was a young woman living in one of the lower units where I lived. She introduced herself, started telling me her entire life story, and mentioned nobody was allowed to come in her apartment. It was just a weird thing to bring up. Whenever I walked by her place, it smelled like garbage, like you were at the dump. This girl destroyed the entire unit. She'd been living there for years, never took out the garbage once. She took batteries out of the smoke detector and was burning things in the sink. The landlord ended up having to spend around $40,000 to repair it. Hopefully this girl understands the risk she's taken and gets good tenants.
Can you pay cash for the car?
I
I'd rather finance the car, but I can get my own if I need to.
All right, and how much money do you owe on your GMC?
78.
So do you want to know any numbers right now? I have all the numbers in front of me.
Do you guys have your own financing, or do I need to get my own?
The car doesn't book out. That's the problem. So if you're paying cash, this will be a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't want to pay cash.
Okay. Yeah, it's not going to book
But I
out.
can get my own financing because I can put money down. That's not a problem.
If you want us to send you a bill of sale, we could do that. You're going to be financing like $130,500.
So what was the trade-in then?
77.
Okay, yeah. I would take the truck out and sell it then.
The car doesn't book out. That should be a little bit of a warning sign. It sounds like the book value is a lot less than the loan would be. And we're talking about a $130,000 loan. BMWs are one of those cars I just don't understand the following for them. They're nice looking cars, but not 130 grand nice. And honestly, I can't even tell the difference between the models. It could be a $10,000 car or $100,000. They all look the same to me.
But you're getting like a huge sales tax savings by trading it.
Then you got to ship it both ways, and then you got to do all that stuff.
I'll do 77. I'll ship both cars for free then.
Can you send me a screenshot of the out the door?
Yeah, it's going to be a cash deal. $136.50. That's the total.
And that's 77 for my truck, and then how much for the car?
$125.
Let me talk to the bank real quick, and I can get right back to you.
All right. Thanks, man.
I'll get right back to you guys.
All right, thanks. I'm an optimistic person, but there's no way that's a deal. Why? The bank can't see what the car is worth. If the bank can't see what the car is worth, they're not going to accept that deal. I'm optimistic, but the chances are very slim.
Everyone's financial situation is different, but I don't think there's any way I could spend that much on a car. It wouldn't matter how much money I had, I just don't see any vehicle worth it. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying for myself. I'd rather have that money saved or invested. Luckily, the vehicles I like aren't that expensive.
What is your truck payment?
That's a her question.
That's a her. Do you have a car?
I have a car.
Do you have a car payment?
I'm sure I do.
Does she pay your car payment? Okay, what's the year, make, and model of this vehicle?
A 2025 Genesis.
Okay, that's like a $70,000 car, right?
I guess.
What's the car payment? Do you even know?
No idea.
You're just happy to be driving it?
Yes, I'm just grateful.
Okay, and you are the enabler here.
Yes, I am the enabler.
What's the car payment on that?
There's not one.
It must be nice to have a car handed to you at that age. I never had that. I had to pay for every car I bought, and I wouldn't change that. I had to save up for the cash cars and learn the hard lessons that came with financing. And there were some very expensive lessons. That's the part she's missing out on. And that could end up being a negative thing for her in the future.
It's paid for?
Yes.
You acted like there was a big old payment that you weren't paying.
I don't really have to know all the details.
Yeah.
Okay, so was this like a gift for her?
Yes, a 16th gift, yes.
16th birthday gift. That's a very nice gift. And you paid in cash. Most people can't do that. Listen, you're doing great. Everyone wants to be you one day, okay? We want to know how you got there. Do any of you have any debt at this point then?
They don't.
It sounds like you helped them avoid it.
They get it for now, but they'll have to have their own debt later.
Okay, so you get one really nice car and then the next one's going to suck because you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Hopefully, along with that free car, they teach her a little bit about personal finance. Because that's not really how life works when you're on your own. Nobody is there handing you the keys to a paid-off car. But if she does things right, she can put away that money she would have spent on a car and get further ahead than a lot of people. That's probably difficult to think about at that age, but it's possible. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.